Hi, fifth grade. It sounds like we're still having a little bit of trouble with our long division stuff that you learned in fourth grade. So I wanted to go through a couple of examples of long division so that hopefully it will start to come back to you a little bit better as you're working today. You did learn how to do these types of problems in fourth grade, but over the summer sometimes we forget those things that we have learned. However, it is very important that we understand this and we start to get quicker at it because long division is something that we will use quite a bit in fifth grade math. So that's why we're practicing and reviewing now before we really get into the fifth grade math stuff where we're going to need to use this. Okay, so I'm going to work through these two problems. Make sure you're paying attention closely. Make sure that you are thinking through the process as I talk through it, because then you're going to be doing some more practice problems on your own using the long division steps. Okay? We're going to start with this one. So we're doing 372 divided by 5. I have written out the steps up here for you in case you forget what those steps are. So my very first step is to divide. So I'm thinking, how many 5s will fit into 3? Well, hold on. 5 won't fit into 3. So I'm going to have to start with my first two numbers instead. So now I'm thinking, how many 5s will fit into 37? If I need to, I can look back on the multiplication chart, and I'm going to look at the 5 and see how close I can get to 37. Okay, if you looked back there, the closest I can get is 35, which would be 7 times. So 5 will fit into 37 7 times. Okay, I looked back on the 5 and I counted 7 times, and that's as close as I could get. Then I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to do 5 times 7 because that's what I just wrote up there. 5 times 7, I can look again if I need to. What is 5 times 7? It's 35. So I'm going to put 35 right down there. Getting it ready because my next step is to subtract. So I'm going to subtract these two numbers. 37 minus 35. What is 37 minus 35? 2. Divide, multiply, subtract. I'm ready for bring down. So now I'm going to bring down my next number, which is the 2, and I'm going to put it right here beside. And I have got my next number now, 22, so that I can repeat the process. So I'm ready to start all the way back over here with divide. So I'm thinking, how many 5s will fit in 22? Again, use the back wall if I need to. Look at the 5. What's the closest I can get to 22? How many times will it fit? 5 will fit into 22 4 times. So I'm going to write my 4 up here at the top. That's the closest that I could get. Then I need to multiply 5 times 4 because the 4 is what I just put up there. So 5 times 4, I know my 5 is really good, so I know that's 20. I'm going to write down 20. Getting it ready because remember my next step is to subtract those. Let's subtract 22 minus 20. That would be 2. Now I'm ready to bring down. Ooh, I'm looking. There is no other number to bring down. I don't have anything that I can bring down. But I can't leave this 2 hanging out down here at the bottom. So if you remember, if I have stuff left over here when I can't bring down, so I could not bring down, so I'm done with the problem, but I can't leave this leftover stuff down here. This is called a remainder. I have 2 remaining when I'm done with my problem. So to show that I have 2 remaining or leftover, I'm going to put a capital R for remainder, 2. So my answer is 74, remainder 2. Let's try one more. Hopefully it's coming back to you a little bit better. We have 943 divided by 6. Hey, remember, my steps are up here. If I forget, I can look back up. Your fourth grade grade teachers might have used different sayings. When I taught fourth grade, I used dangerous monkeys swipe bananas. So sometimes you'll hear me say that. That's how I used to teach it. I've heard like, does McDonald's sell burgers? Or just divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. There's lots of different ways to remember it, but you have to know the steps in order, because if you don't know the order, then the problem gets really hard to solve. Okay, so we're going to start with divide. How many 6s will fit into 9? It will fit this time, so we're just going to start right there. Look at the 6 if you need to on the back wall. How many 6s will fit into 9? It'll only go in there one time. So I'm going to put my 1 up top. Next, I'm going to multiply 6 times 1, because that's what I just wrote. So what is 6 times 1? That would just be 6. Then I'm going to subtract. Remember, that's why I write it down here, so that I can do this next. I know it's coming. Minus. What is 9 minus 6 going to give me? 3. 9 minus 6 is 3. Then I'm ready for bring down. So the next number in my problem is this 4. So I'm going to bring down the 4, put him right here beside that 3, and now I have a 34, and I'm ready to repeat. So I'm going to go all the way back over here to divide. How many 6s will fit in 34? Ooh, I'm going to have to look back on my 6 for that maybe. How many 6s will fit in 34? Hopefully you were thinking 5 of them. So I'm going to write my 5 up top. Next, I'm ready for multiply. So remember, I'm doing 6 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. Writing it underneath, because I know up next is my subtraction. So I'm going to subtract these. What is 34 minus 30? 4. Put that down there. After subtract, I bring down. What am I ready to bring down next? The 3. That's my next number. So bring down the 3. Put it right there beside. And now I have to repeat again. This one goes a little bit longer. It's a little bit bigger of a problem. So repeat, go back to the beginning, divide. How many 6s will fit in 43? Because that's the number I have now. 6s into 43. Check if you need to. 7 is what you should have got when you checked. So put my 7 up there. Next, I multiply. So 6 times 7. What is 6 times 7? Again, I can check if I don't know off the top of my head. 42. Write that underneath, getting it ready, because I know after multiply comes subtract. So I'm going to subtract those two things. 43 minus 42 is going to give me 1. After subtract, I bring down. What are we going to bring down this time? Nothing. There is no other number to bring down. So I'm done with the problem. But what can I not forget to do? That's my remainder. Remember, he's left over, but I can't just leave him hanging out down there. Okay, so I have to put capital R for remainder. 1. We had 1 remaining when we got done with the problem. We were finished, but this was left over. So my answer would be 157, remainder 1. Okay? Hopefully that helps a little bit better the more you practice today on some whiteboards and on your assignment. I think it will start clicking a little bit better for you so that we can go faster and we don't have to get as much help. Just remember, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, or Mrs. Profit its favorite saying to remember: dangerous monkeys swipe bananas. Hopefully that helps. Do your best. Bye.